We're going to be talking about how to tell if your ex is in a rebound relationship or not. But first, my name is Clay with modernlove.life, where we help you get the great loving relationship that you're looking for without having to play mind games, without having to play hard to get, and without having to pretend to be someone or something that you are not, because you deserve to be loved for the unique, amazing, and wonderful person that you are. And if you agree with me, do me a favor by giving this video a thumbs up and by subscribing to this channel while you are down there. Also, you might want to know that we do have our course called the X Solution Program. You can find out more about it down below in the description for this video, but it does take you through the entire journey of getting back together with your ex, navigating their emotional world, all that stuff. It even includes a specific strategy on how to navigate through your ex's rebound relationship called the decoy strategy. Okay, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into ways you can tell if your ex is in a rebound relationship. Now, there are a lot of theories out there about rebound relationships. Oftentimes, people think that it has to happen within a certain window of time after a breakup, and that causes people to start doing breakup math. Like, oh, well, if you were together for 2 years, then it'll take 2 months to get over the breakup. So any relationship that you have within those 2 months is a rebound relationship. Okay, first of all, there is no breakup math that can really accurately tell you whether or not your ex has moved on or not. Second of all, a rebound relationship is not defined by a length of time in which it happens, a window of time in which it happens. A rebound relationship is really defined by how someone is dealing with their emotions. And if they are dealing with their emotions following a breakup in an unproductive and, let's just say, less than healthy sort of way, it can cause them to pursue relationships for the wrong reasons. This is how rebound relationships happen. And this is also why rebound relationships have a very poor track record, because people are getting into these relationships, often both partners, not really being 100% fully emotionally available and emotionally present. So they end up having a lot of relationship problems. Let's just put it that way. Again, if you want to learn more about rebound relationships, we do have an entire video series on it. I'll put a video card for it up there in the corner. Check it out if you're interested. Okay, so let's get into this. One of the ways that you can tell if your ex is in a rebound relationship is if their new partner is someone who is either very, very, very similar to you, or the exact polar opposite of you in some kind of major sort of way. Obviously, if they're very similar to you, it shows that they're trying to recreate the same relationship dynamic that they had with you, but with someone else. So that usually doesn't need much explanation. But if they're trying to create a new relationship with someone who's kind of the polar opposite to you, this is where people get a little bit confused, and I need to kind of stop and explain things a little bit more clearly. But if they are in this sort of polar opposite kind of thing, what's usually going on is there was some aspect of the relationship that they had with you, and your ex is kind of doing like a hard push away against that. And so they're saying like, okay, you were really, stingy and not very generous. So I'm going to go and date someone who's maybe a little bit more of a spendthrift, like really super generous, always willing to open up their wallet and spend the things on whatever. That can be kind of like a hard push against it, where it's not them kind of intentionally choosing like, this is what I want. I want someone who's going to be a good parent, somebody who's going to be loving and accepting, but instead they're just like, you are like this, so I'm going to date someone who's like that. That's kind of the energy behind this whole polar opposite kind of thing. Another thing that you can keep an eye out for to tell if your ex is in a rebound relationship or not is if they do what's called displacement. You can kind of think of this as fast forwarding. So, oftentimes when we're in a relationship, a natural, organic, healthy relationship, it has its sort of own state that it progresses at. It usually takes people a certain period of time before they think about moving in together, before they say I love you, before they get engaged, before they get married, all that sort of stuff. And, it's different for each person, for each dynamic. But if, let's just say, for example, it took the two of you a year to talk about getting married to one another, and now suddenly, you, your ex and their rebound have been together for maybe only a few months or even weeks, and now suddenly they're talking about getting engaged, that is a sign of fast forwarding. Basically, you and your ex were at basically, let's just say this level arbitrarily with your relationship. And so your ex is trying to fast forward their new relationship to the point where it's kind of almost at the same level of commitment. And what they're essentially doing is they're, like we talked about before, recreating the same relationship dynamic with someone else. They are trying to create that same level of commitment by shortcutting the natural organic development and growth that would take a normal couple, maybe a year or two or whatever, to get to that level of commitment. And they're trying to cram it all into maybe just a few months or a few weeks. That is what we mean when we talk about psychological displacement. And this is very common in rebound relationships because the people in the relationship are more interested in the idea of being in a relationship, the idea of being committed, the idea of maybe being married or whatever, living together, rather than they are with actually being connected to one another and actually saying, yeah, you have the qualities that I'm looking for in a long-term partner, and you have the kinds of qualities that I'm looking for in a husband or wife or a parent or, the future father or mother of my children or whatever. And so they're more interested in the idea than the actual practicality of creating that kind of relationship and bond with someone else. Okay, classic emotionally unavailable sign as it expresses itself in a rebound relationship kind of situation. Okay, and another thing that your ex might do if they are in a rebound relationship is they may have a very sudden change in values or behavior. Now, obviously, if you're in a relationship with someone, that person should have some degree of influence over you. They should, be expanding your world in some way, maybe helping you see things from a new perspective, showing you new things, hobbies, sports, interests, activities, things like that. And that's totally normal. We kind of pick these things up as we interact with people, as we get close to people, as we grow together. But if your ex is coming out of the breakup with you and they're having like really stark changes in their behavior, in their activities, in their values, and it's not just like, okay, I learned from the past, I know that I need to be with someone who's like this, but it's again more that like pushing away sort of behavior where they're either going the exact polar opposite of something, like maybe they were like really, straight edge professional with you, and now they just want to sell everything and live out of an RV or something like that. That couldn't be an example of that. Also, this is really an emotionally unavailable sign as well too. It just shows that they are not dealing with their emotions well. And of course, there's a really common way of looking at this too as well. Really classic is if their values and their behaviors are more in sort of like a numbing kind of pattern or a numbing sort of behavior. Again, totally cliche example is drinking a lot, doing drugs, doing things to kind of numb out, whatever that might be for your ex, whether that is like going out and dancing. Not that dancing is a numbing activity, but some people can use it as that. I know there's definitely people that do like ecstatic dance that use that as a way of like waking themselves up and living more fully into the moment. But it can also be used as like a way to kind of like forget everything that they're going through. So that can be something to look out for too, is sudden behavior changes that may be a sort of push away kind of energy behind them, or something that could potentially be like a numbing activity. And, like if your ex's new rebound relationship is really kind of like paper thin in terms of depth and substance, and it's just more kind of like a cotton candy sort of relationship, that's also another kind of thing to look for that could indicate that like, yeah, this is just a rebound relationship. My ex is not dealing with their emotions in a healthy sort of way. And, this is probably going to have a lot of the challenges and a lot of the issues that rebound relationships often have. Again, we do have that video playlist, which I'll link to at the end of this video as well too. But once again, if you do want to learn more about how to navigate rebound relationships, how to navigate your ex's emotional world in general, you'd probably like our course called the X Solution Program. I'll put a link to that in the description for this video down below. You can check it out if you're interested. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, if you like what we're doing here, please help me out by giving this video a thumbs up. Every thumbs up, or even thumbs down really, tells the YouTube algorithm that, hey, I like Clay's stuff, and you might want to think about showing it to more people as well too. It helps our channel grow. So definitely do that. Also subscribe to the channel if you're new here. But with that being said, be sure to check out this video series over here on rebound relationships if you'd like to learn more about that, the dynamics of them, how they work, why they don't work, why they often have difficulties and all that stuff. Or you might want to check out this video up here. Could be interesting for you as well too, auto-generated by the YouTube algorithm. Anyway, take care, and I'll talk to you next time.